Hey everybody, welcome back to the Cow's channel, where I, the Cow, go over the latest and greatest gaming news. My brain's a little fried because I was 1 minute from leaving work today, and let us be honest, have you ever had, I'm about to go home and your job is like, no you're not, you get to deal with this first. Yeah, that happened to me today. It was not fun. No, it was not fun. But we're done, and it's the Cow's birthday weekend, so if you want to drop a like or a comment down there and say happy birthday, I would really appreciate it because my brain's a little fried. But you know who also is a little fried? Unity, because the controversial game development engine has to finally apologize for their changes and is walking some of them back, and that's what we're going to look at today. So Mark Whitten, who is their president and general manager, has apologized for the changes announced nearly 2 weeks ago. If you don't know, and I feel like you should if you're on this channel, or if you're into gaming at all, it's been like the really big gaming news. It's even pushed out the new update we have on the Activision being acquired to tomorrow. You're going to get another opinion video tomorrow. But if you don't know, Unity is a popular game engine. It's widely considered to be one of the better, if not the best choices for two-dimensional games. And it powers lots of stuff like Pokemon Go, Hollow Knight, everything from like small one-man indie teams that just want to have a hope and a dream to lots of AAA games. But they announced 2 weeks ago that they had a new runtime fee that was going to take place start of next year. And what made people hate this is several things. First of all, it was based on installs, and there was a lot of worry and concern about how that was going to be tracked. And it was also strongly hinted that you were going to have to install pretty much malware onto your system for Unity to track it. Not to mention, the fees were kind of crippling to games. And it was going to be based off of numbers and fees for even stuff that had previously happened. So game development usually takes years. And so people were like in 2-3 years of a 5-year cycle, if not less or more. Or they had just recently released a Unity game, and now they're realizing, oh god, in 5 months, I'm going to have to suddenly pay a ton of extra money. Unity was just like really putting these changes through on their own. They didn't talk to anybody. Yeah, and they said it was going to be applied retroactively to games that meet the revenue and install thresholds. But apparently those plans have changed. His open letter, which we'll look at in just a second, admitted that Unity should... Oh god, this humor is so great. I'm going to give a shout out to Zach here in Kotaku, who is helping me put this together and giving me just help with that broad overview I need. Because I love your humor, Zach. Unity should have probably, talked to all the developers out there using their engine before announcing such massive changes. We should have spoken more with you, and we should have incorporated more of your feedback before announcing our new runtime fee policy. No joke, you sorry sack of potatoes, to keep it not safe for work friendly. And then he laid out the new changes that they are assuming Unity will be received better. So let's look at the open letter first. This is from Unity's official blog by Mark Whitten. It's the open letter to the community. It's only 3 minutes. It's today. So let's see what they say. I'm Mark Whitten, and I lead Unity Create, which includes the Unity engine and editor teams. I want to start with this. I am sorry. We should have spoken with more of you, and we should have incorporated more of your feedback before announcing our new runtime fee policy. Duh. Wish I had a soundboard sometimes, because I would be playing the stupidest music I could right now. Our goal with this policy is to ensure that we can continue to support you today and tomorrow with keep deeply investing in our game engine. Their goal is not to support developers. Their goal was not necessarily the game engine. They just wanted more revenue. If you've looked at Unity's stock, and we've looked at it a little, it's gone from like 180 and now it's in 30 or lower based on all of this. And it's actually garbage. I mean, the guy in charge, the CEO of Unity right now, is a man who used to work for EA and thought it was okay to charge people to reload online. The three of the most powerful board members all have malware, bots, and shady tech backgrounds. This was a cash grab. Don't lie to me, Mark. I'm not stupid. I'm a little work frazzled, but I'm not stupid. You are what make Unity great, and we know we need to listen and work hard to earn your trust. You need to work hard to re-earn their trust. We have heard our concerns, and we are making changes in the policy we announced to address them. Our Unity personal plan work is trying to text me, and I'm like, hell no, I'm gone. No, go away. Our Unity personal plan will remain free, and there is no runtime fee for games based on Unity Personal. We will be increasing the cap from 100 to 200K, and we will remove the requirement to use the Made with Unity splash screen. No game with less than $1 million in trailing 12-month revenue, so in any 12-month period, $1 million in revenue, will be subject to the fee. For those creators on Pro and Enterprise, we are also making changes based on your feedback. You mean their angry comments, letters, and wanting to burn you in effigy? Is that the feedback you mean, Mark? Because I feel like that's the feedback you mean, Mark. I'm not sure. The runtime fee policy will only apply beginning with the next LTS version of Unity shipping in 2024 and beyond. Your games that are currently shipped and the projects you are currently working on will not be included, unless you choose to upgrade them to the newest version of Unity. We will make sure that you can stay on the terms applicable for the version of Unity editor you're using as long as you keep using. So they're saying now if you don't start using the Unity, if your project never upgrades to Unity 2024, you're fine. For games that are subject to the runtime fee, you have the choice of either a 2.5% revenue share or the calculated amount based on the number of new people engaging with your game every month. These numbers are self-reported from data you already have available. You will always be billed the lesser. I mean, I'm sus, but at least he doesn't sound like he's trying to screw him. We want to continue to build the best engine for creators. We truly love this industry, and you are the reason why. And then he's inviting to a fireside chat. Oh, God, no. What? Oh, Lord Jesus. Can I find that? Because, is that still going? It can't be still going. It was 2.5 hours ago, Jesus, I have to, give me 1 second. Okay, I checked YouTube, couldn't find any, or in Twitter, couldn't find any really great clips. But man, that would have been a really interesting thing to see on that fireside chat. So, yeah, is that good? So, again, to review, the new changes is that the old limit of 100,000 is now 200,000. You don't have to say Made with Unity if you use the personal free plan now. You have to have at least $1 million in a 12-month trailing period. The fee is only going to apply to the new version starting January 1st of 2024. Your games that are currently shipped and the projects you are currently working on will not be included unless you upgrade them to this new version of Unity. Okay, that's better. And that you can also stay on the terms that apply to the version as long as you don't upgrade. So, but they're not removing the runtime fee. They're going to let you pay the lesser of either 2.5 rev share or calculated based on installs. And that they are self-reported from data they already have. So, what's the new change reaction? Some of the first responses are cautiously optimistic. Developer Ramil Ismail, you know what, on first glance, I think it works. Effectively a 2.5 rev share for 1 million plus per year earners. No retroactivity, LTS stability, no black box data. I think that works for every use case. It's honestly probably the policy they should have done in the first place. Dan Goodale also says, this is looking reasonable. Though they've got a lot of work to do to repair the trust, nothing stopping them from U-turning in another week. Yeah, that's the part I want to reinforce on this conversation, Dan. Very happy that Unity removed the retroactivity of their new fee, says Juan Leninsky, of the creator of the Godot engine, which has been getting some really great attention and funding now from people, and I encourage developers, if you happen to see this video, consider not using Unity, and I'll go over why in a second. I am happy for anyone moving to Godot, but as I said before, at their own pace and will. Doing it forced by a stressful situation can never be a good experience. Now, none of this would be necessary if Unity didn't do a blatant cash money grab and then act surprised when they burned all their trust that people weren't happy. So the article concludes, while initial reactions to the open letter and its changes are somewhat positive, especially compared to the feedback Unity received from devs last time they announced changes, it doesn't change that many feel like they can't trust the company anymore. And here's the takeaway I want to give you guys. Zach summarizes Cal's opinion perfectly with his ending line. Partially fixing a problem you created isn't a great way to win people back. It does not matter that Unity has walked back most of their changes that they're now reasonable. One of the things that I learned in college and psychology and debates and stuff there is that sometimes people will blatantly give you terrible terms so that they can then back down to more reasonable terms. I'm not saying that's what Unity is doing right now, but Unity gave terrible, god-awful terms, and you cannot trust them anymore. You can't. If you're a small developer, it's great that you're no longer going to get punished with all this. But I don't think any small developer should ever upgrade to Unity's LTS in 2024. I just don't. I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think you can trust this company. We have no idea what they're going to do. We have no idea what they're going to do. And they might do something stupid. They might walk it back again. There's nothing to stop them from walking it back. They tried it the first time. What do all comments say as we end this? Yep. It doesn't matter. They might retain some smaller indies, but any larger indie studios or AA, AAA who were previously using Unity are going to jump. Any new developers are going to find so much negativity that they're going to use Godot or Unreal. Unreal is generally regarded as a really good 3D engine, and Unity is better at 2D. Godot, though, is been getting a lot of positive press and been said it's pretty good. So it's going to take a long time to earn any goodwill, short of firing and replacing the CEO. Can't think of much else. Damage is already done. Not safe for work, Unity. Every developer that is able to should start working toward publishing any future projects or something other than Unity. If it's not feasible to change, then that should be finished with Unity. It doesn't matter if it's feasible or not because they're saying they're not going to apply to you. Now, if they retroactive that again, we're going to have to set the world on fire again. Get back in there, cat. Get back in that pack. We've got a belt to unrun. That's a good one. I feel they damaged the brand so badly last week that they may have had no other choice than to remove that. Oh, that's a good idea. That the brand is so damaged that they don't want to have people hate the Made with Unity screen now. How the CEO is not fired is beyond me. Well, the board is 100% friendly with them, and unfortunately, usually your board is the one that controls the CEO. But as we've seen with things like World Wrestling Entertainment recently and Activision Blizzard, if a CEO gets too powerful too long, they replace those board members with lackeys. And then the board just does what they say. Because they put so much money in their pockets and they've been friends for so long. But yeah, the Cal's opinion is, I like that nobody's going to get punished or hurt anymore. I like that it's only going to be for the upgrade version available in January. I don't think you can trust Unity right now, guys. There's nothing stopping them from just screwing off and doing this again. Absolutely nothing. You cannot trust them. And I'm sorry that you can't trust them. A lot of people like Unity. It's a good system to use. The system is not what's broken. It's the people at the top who grabbed money. They're the ones that did this. They're the idiots. And you can't, as long as those 3 board members and the CEO, who are the ones that probably came up with this idea, are there, you cannot trust them. They can and will hit you the next chance they get. The trust is gone. I think it's great that all the small developers can finish their multi-year projects now and not go bankrupt if their game is a success. and that's fantastic. I love indie games. We played a bunch of smaller games on the channel. It's where I make my bread and butter with my viewers and my new people. You guys find me a lot more on smaller games than you usually do on bigger games. But let's be honest, nobody can trust. You just can't trust Unity. Maybe in 2025, 2026, if they behave and they come out with more policies and upgrades that people love, the trust will start being rebuilt. But this isn't a, oh, I'm sorry I scratched your car. Here, I'll buy you dinner at McDonald's and we'll be good. This is garbage was set on fire. And you have to walk away from the fire before you get burned. Guys, let me know down in the comments if you were a small developer, or if you are, would you trust Unity anymore? And if you are, feel free to plug your game. Like, just tell me to look it up on YouTube, and I'll watch I'll watch your trailer, and I'll see you, and let's get some love to some indies who may have just had a really rough time, guys. But that's it for me. And you know what else you can do? You can play more games! Because games are awesome, and you deserve a lot of awesome, especially when there are corporations like Unity trying to smash you down. Goodbye, everybody, and have a wonderful weekend.